Hello and welcome to another How to Code Well web chat. My name is Peter Fisher. Today I'm going to talk about YouTube styles, in particular my YouTube style, and I would like to think that it's progressed as time has gone on. Now, there was a comment also in one of my previous videos regarding top programming languages to learn in 2017 that suggested that perhaps I was a little less, I come across not so genuine. They actually said that I should beat my chest more and become a bit more passionate about what I'm talking about. Now, I'm actually extremely passionate about web development. It's something that I've done for years and years and years. So basically, this is what I know, this is what I do. I live, breathe, sleep and dream it. But I wanted to talk about the style of YouTube in general. For example, lots of people have different ways in which they talk to people. You could have a news reporter, and I'm pretty sure they talk in a different way to how they would talk to perhaps their family or perhaps their colleagues, and then compared to how the style that they use when they talk in front of the camera when they're presenting to a nation. And I mean, I'm certainly do not want to compare myself to that, but what I'm trying to say is, I guess there is this sort of subconscious style that you just sort of jump into when you're talking to different audiences, a different style for different audiences, I suppose. And with YouTube, it is quite a challenge because you don't really know who is going to watch your videos, because you are literally just throwing them out in the public. So I guess the style that I have, you could kind of call it a little bit tame, I guess. But regardless of who I'm talking to, regardless of the context that I'm talking about, there is one thing that I will try and avoid as much as possible, and that is swearing. I know that swearing, for some weird reason, gets views, gets subscribers, swearing in videos. Personally, I don't think there's any need for that. There are other YouTubers who just swear for the sake of swearing. So they for every word or sentence they use, they somehow slip in a swear word. For me, I find that there is a respect issue. So, I mean, when I was younger, I used to swear a lot when I was a student. When I was living on my own. But when I was at home, we were always brought up to see that swearing was disrespectful. So swearing at someone was disrespectful. You're disrespecting that person. Swearing at something might be slightly different, but I mean, I'm not going to say that I don't swear. I do swear, and I swear mostly to myself, about the thing that I'm doing, not in the context of someone else, or at least I try not to. I do slip. I'm not I'm not suddenly I don't want to claim that I'm perfect in that sense, but it's something that I, ever since I've kind of moved from a student into the professional sort of land, if you will, I've tried to rein in swearing, because the people you're talking to can sort of crease up when you do that. You kind of surprise them. I go back to the point, I don't think there's any need for it. I don't think there's any point to it. It's the tone of voice, it's the way you talk about something, it's how you talk about something that I find more important. I would prefer to have a different tone of voice when I'm angry to having just swearing left, right and center. Also, I'm now 33. A lot of my friends, the people I know, the people I grew up with, have children. And so you have to take that into context. When you're hanging around them, you're also, hanging around their kids, and you don't want to be swearing in front of their children. So you kind of have to think about the audience that you're talking to. And also with this channel, I would like to think that sometimes I would be talking to perhaps a potential client or a potential employer. So I need to be, I don't want to say I need to be guarded, but I need to come across like I would just come across when I'm talking to my current client. But this is, in my head, this is how I talk when I'm talking to my wife. So I don't see that there's any difference. There might be a style difference perhaps. I might be, I don't know, slightly more funnier when I'm off screen than I am on screen. I don't know. You can't really, I don't think you can really sort of decide that yourself. It's other people that make that decision. But I would like to think that the videos that I do now will be half as good as what they will be in the future. Just in terms of the style, the quality, the video quality, the audio quality, and the lighting and all sorts of stuff. I mean, today, for example, I'm stood up. This is the first video I've done standing up, and it actually feels quite liberating. But yeah, so I do apologize. Today isn't really a techie video. I just wanted to address the style issue. There is also another benefit to having a little bit more friendlier content, and that is advertiser friendly. So there is obviously, I do monetize my videos, and I would like to think that because I don't swear, I am seen as advertiser friendly. I don't really know. The point I guess I'm trying to make is that I'm not going to be someone that I'm not. I'm not going to clown around, and I'm not going to be fake. I'm not going to get angry about a particular thing that I'm not actually angry about personally. What I'm talking about is, it's all my opinion, it's all my views. I'm not talking off of some pre-scripted hymn sheet. There is nothing like that going on. And I think that's very important because, you know, like I said, I would like to think that the people that I'm talking to might be people that I see in real life down the line. I would like them to feel as though they know me through the videos, and that is a good representation of who I am off screen. Now, I have also been told before that perhaps I come across a little posh. Now, I find that really bizarre because I've been around posh people, and I'm certainly not posh. I grew up in Wiltshire and Gloucestershire, and if anyone who is around those areas, they would know that you've got Birmingham, that has a Brummie accent, and then you've got Bristol and Somerset, like a Bristolian accent, and Wiltshire and Gloucestershire in England has its own accent too. It has a bit of a twang to it. I don't appear to have picked anything like that up. Someone has described my accent as fairly neutral. I'm not too sure what that actually means. Maybe some people would say that that's posh, but I don't know. I don't think it is. Also, another thing I would mention is how perhaps I dress. When I see a client, I'm usually wearing a shirt, some suit trousers perhaps. I don't have a tie, and I leave the top collar button thing undone. I think that is a professional looking, respectful dress. Now, I used to work where I could get away with perhaps wearing stuff like this. This is what I would term as perhaps dressed down. So this is a polo top and jeans. You've seen me wear hoodies before. I try and keep perhaps sweatpants for Sundays and shirts for Mondays. That's kind of my spectrum, I suppose. I've also been brought up to have manners, right? And I get picked up on my manners because I don't always say please and thank you, but recently we've got a Google Home in the house. I have found it fairly tricky to request for information without saying please and thank you. So I automatically treated Google Home like it was a person. I was speaking to a person rather than a machine. So I don't know whether this is going to have implications to perhaps the younger generation who use Google Home and just shout at it basically, or rather than politely ask for things. Maybe I'm a dying breed, who knows, but it's certainly weird to talk to a machine and forgetting that it is a machine and it's not a human. Perhaps they should invent some sort of polite mode in which you need to have manners in order to request commands. Maybe that will help with people's manners when they grow up, and also the adults as well. Who knows? So I'm going to leave it there. I know that this hasn't been a tech video as such, but I wanted to talk about the style that I have with YouTube. What I will say is that the style today will not be the same style as it will be in a year's time, 6 months' time, because things improve. Perhaps I'll become a little bit more relaxed if I'm appearing stressed, and I would flow a little better. Who knows? I don't know. So thanks again for watching. Like the video, do subscribe to pick up the latest web chats as well as the weekly tutorials Thanks again for watching. Happy coding. I shall see you again next week.